Just so you guys know, I'm going live on YouTube as well. That's why you're about to hear the intro. But I do keep an eye on both chats. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's probably an awkward intro. Anyway, we're gonna go over the markets like we normally do. Thursday recap going into Friday. Again, this is still the end of the year, so things are gonna start probably dying down, but not tonight. We will jump into it here in a little bit, but look at the Nasdaq. All I'm gonna say is I draw these random boxes. We jump in there, we hit it. Now futures, they take a little nap each day, and then we open back up. Okay, we take a little hour nap, we open back up. Futures open back up, gapped up, sent it. I am in QQQ calls, so this is absolutely amazing, especially after today. Today was a boring pullback crap day. Let's go. Now, the one thing I did change, which I'm probably red in, I did go long the US dollar, Japanese yen. Hey, I'm up. We're doing good. For a while there, it was just annoying because I was down. I think I checked it earlier right here. So we're rocking and rolling. I told you guys I've been short this for some time. I just didn't want to ignore this trend. We finally got above this right here. And I was talking about the dollar, like I wanted this to bounce, wanted this to be a lower high. We're starting to cruise our way up. So for now, this is very much a short term, kind of back to where I'm at. I was short this for a long haul. But for now, maybe into tomorrow, I'll be long. Cody says you've just died to me. I just need that to break up, and I probably will go short again at this zone up here. Bitcoin, just doing a little bit of that Bitcoin dance, just really dancing around, keeping it in that channel up though, which is looking good. I did not check MicroStrategy today, but let's see where that's at. So Bitcoin today went from blue box to blue box. Who keeps drawing these random boxes? It's weird. It's almost like market makers follow this guy. Interesting. If you want to have that same coincidence, all you gotta do is click that follow button. It's that simple. Anyway, so we went from here, sold off all the way down to here. And that's where we found some buyers. Ultimately, kind of just hanging out. I expect that to probably continue its grind up. I don't know what huge catalyst we might have for the remainder of the year. They should start to actually die off, as a matter of fact. Tomorrow we have nothing. Export price. No real catalyst that should do anything. Let's just check out the remainder. Monday, we got PMI. We got some letters next week. Let's see. Next Wednesday, FOMC, Fed interest rates. So it looks like we have some excuses next week, Wednesday, and jobless claims. We've kind of been paying attention to that. So maybe that gets a little spicy. Then we got PCE on Friday. So we got some letters to probably finish off the year. I can tell you guys right now, we could probably keep going. There's going to be nothing. So Friday's the 20th. Christmas week, we'll have absolutely nothing that's going to move the market. There will be, I mean, look at everybody in the chat. That's who's probably going to be in the market on this last week. Anyway, let's jump back to the action. Am I still buying Ethereum? Yep, I buy Bitcoin and Ethereum every week. I thought about actually chunking in some of the savings, and there's always like some new people that show up. I buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I put that same amount into a savings account. And when I get the real dip buys, that's when I take that savings and I toss it over in there. It's kind of how it keeps my averages down. And we can pull up Ethereum real quick. I thought about doing it, but I didn't. So we're just on course. I like what I have. And we'll see. It's kind of been sideways. It's been really just getting not hammered at this level, but it just hasn't broken above that level. I think that would be a decent sign for it to break. But really, getting above, you guys want to know where the hype is going to probably pick up? It's going to be when Ethereum breaks 5,000. This $4,000 mark, that's going to be a pretty big deal. The Bitcoin nerds, crypto nerds, they know about it because it's done this. Technically, I'd say twice. We kind of came up here, faded fast, came back up again. Everyone thought it was going to hold, came right back down. So let's see. Let's just exhaust all the sellers. We'll call it 4,600, 4,500, give or take. Getting above that, we start to rock and roll. We'll have our last big psychological level at that $5,000 mark, and then I want to see if we send it. Matt says, when does my vacation start? Told you guys I was to take the last 2 weeks off from streaming every night. I'm going to take the promise of streaming every night off in the last 2 weeks. It's just going to be hit or miss. Technically, the last 2 weeks of the year. What would that is? Is this my last week? I haven't done this before, guys. I'm new to vacations. Let's go. Let's do a normal week next week, and then let's go from the 23rd to the 3rd. That'd be my 2 weeks off. In years, literally years, which is why it's probably going to be weird if I'm not, kind of on here. I sit down and kind of map my trades out for the next day anyway, so it's not that bad to just jump on camera and tell you guys about it. But I want to try. I want to try to take a vacation. My birthday is January 4th, so I won't have to worry about that. Like, we'll be good. It'll just encapsulate that. New Year's. I don't really party on New Year's, but you guys can, and you're good. I got shaken out of AMD. Doesn't happen often. Weak hands. Come on, Terry. You're better than that. YouTube should send you to the Bahamas for a vacation. What YouTube needs to do is just push my channel out a little bit more so I can get that silver YouTube plaque. That's what I need. That's what I'm striving for. I'm not getting you a present because I never got my strawberry shortcake. But you did get the crystal ball. Do I need to do another crystal ball giveaway? That was kind of fun. TikTok's never seen a crystal ball. John Smith says, do I only do stocks? That's a negative, Ghost Rider. I literally trade all asset classes. The only thing I don't really do is bonds. I'm not really a bonds guy. Cody, you don't have a crystal ball? You're lying. I don't even know where I used to have one right here on my desk. Found it. Come on, who hasn't? It's been a while since we pulled this up. I'm going to do another one because that was fun. Anyway, when you get accused of having a crystal ball, those things just keep doing weird things. It's fun to actually have one. I have a crystal ball. Yeah, look at this. Aren't these cool? It's just a giant clear rock, but then you get to tell people I do have a crystal ball, and I can tell you where the stock market's going to go. So focus up. Pay attention. And congrats on how much money you're going to make. Anyway, I feel like we need to do that one. What's my top buy right now? Ooh, my top position or the top one I'm buying. Meta's my top position. And it's going to feel weird saying this. I've been buying all AI stuff. It's a good question. The latest one I'm buying that I don't really have a lot of that I'm building more of is actually Upstart. I did make a video on YouTube on Don Franz Show talking about Upstart. So they lend out money, right? But instead of using a credit score, they have AI and they check 300 something like points to kind of see what kind of borrower you really are. And I think delinquencies are starting to skyrocket. Their delinquencies, however, are not. So while the person might have had a 500 credit score or even lower, their matches might have just seen like, hey, sucks to suck. That was an old medical bill, but he pays everything else on time. He puts his interest, in this category, we're good. So they were able to lend that guy money. Vice versa, just because you can game the system, have a higher credit score, maybe in this case you couldn't. I do think that one's going to stand out. However, I'm not just going all in talking about everybody needs to buy it because I do think it'll stand out. I think our credit system is just weird. You can game it once you know about it. The only reason people don't is because they just don't know about our credit system. It's not until they have to buy a house or until they need to know about it that they actually do. But I do think when Visa and Discover, when they're just tired of losing money on these metrics, I think they'll end up adopting it. So I don't think it's going to be revolutionary and just take over. I think it's just going to be good. But that's the one I'm buying right now, which I will show you the chart. My bad. Upstart. The more I can buy in this level, so it kind of gapped up. We're playing the back and forth game, very horizontal right now. The more I can buy at this, we'll call it 66, 70 level, the better. If it breaks down, I do think this will be another 6 months to a year play, which is why I'm buying shares just kind of every week here and there, just to build a position. I would not mind it if there was a gap fill, send it. If the bears could just come in and make a case, full send. If I could buy it at 50, I will. Here's a question I've answered quite a bit. Not filling the boxes in with the color doesn't help me. Oh, it just looks like a white line. I thought you were about to ask me like, what does that mean? My bad. I'll fill this box in. When there was one box, Monsoon, one box. That is the yellow zone. The colors, however, do make a difference. If you guys, first of all, if you're a YouTube member, you're part of the Patreon, you have my charts, right? You can just use the link, save my layout, so you have all my lines. Everything I draw on here, you have. If, however, you just see two lines and there's no color in there, that's a yellow zone. If it's blue, speed bump zone. Purple is a weekly zone. Green is monthly. If it's anything other than yellow, it will have a color. Always need the colors because it could be purple. It will not. The only time I've ever done that, because I just do these zones, that's the way I trade. I'm on the 4 hour or daily if I need to fine tune it. That's just where I hang out, so that's where I know. These are the notes to myself when I check on my phone or anything later. So everything that is not a yellow zone has a color. Upstart is long term. How would I manage risk? For now, it would just need to honestly, if it gets down here, we gotta stop out. So that's how you should manage risk. $50 a share. Would it be whatever you put in is expected to go to zero? No, because there'll be plenty of warning signs. Honestly, if it just comes all the way down here, it could still very much be just borderline sideways, and we just got a better buy. We caught it at a hype cycle. We could still buy it down here. It hasn't had its time in the limelight yet. Assuming I'm right, breaking that. I mean, you start breaking this low down here, yeah, it might actually turn around right down here. I'll get back in. That's no problem. What I'm not going to say is, well, I might as well hold it here. Might as well hold it here. Next thing you know, looks like Peloton. And you just keep holding, just keep holding, just keep holding. And it just keeps breaking low after low after low after low until it finally hits $2.87. Shout out to everybody that took that Peloton trade back here, though. So when would you scale more in the deeper retraces? Yeah. Right now I'm just chunking in a little bit, and if you're following the plays, I bought 5 shares the other day. That's what it is. It's nothing. We get down to those levels, the number's gonna start going up. Yeah, quite a bit. Real quick, we just left with Ethereum. So let's just bring up XRP real quick. Let's see. Who just said that? XRP leaving the zone? Not quite. XRP still holding the zone. All we've done is throw off a couple of wicks down below. Still, first and foremost, something to keep your eye on is still making lower highs. Now, the awkward part of this, now, if you're super bullish, all you want to hear is how it's going to the moon, and that's a bull flag. And it is. But the concerning part is that's a very kind of established and clear channel down. It's why I actually despise, I play them. It's bullish activity, right? But there's bull flags, there's bull pinnets, and then there's like a rally base rally where it just goes flat and then goes back up. Love the other two. This one right here, you're creating a pitch for me to buy this as it's making lower lows and lower highs. It irks my soul a little bit. All in all, though, that is still bullish activity. It is still holding this 230 zone. I bought more at the 230 mark when that alert went off. I have not added on. I'm going to hang out for a bit on this one. But right now, everything's still looking good. Let's see. Terry says 5. Boom. Terry, real quick, you're on TikTok. How do you like being in the group? 100% honest. Or you don't get paid. I'm just kidding. I don't pay anybody. I don't pay anybody to give their opinion. Steve says, thoughts on XRP? Ta-da! Here we are. He says he loves it. He's lazy, though. It's good to be lazy. Cody gives me some of my call-outs. The idea was to teach everybody in the chat, how I trade, so when you are lazy and they're calling stuff out, you just know they're good. That is my thoughts on XRP. Did I answer that, or did you just show up? Says the callouts are awesome. I like that. I do like to hear that. And you can tell me if it sucks. I would just fix it. That's all. All right. So anyway, overall XRP still bullish. This is XRP you're looking at right now. Breaking this zone. The one thing I would keep an eye on, if we break this zone, do we put in a lower low? My next add-on spot will be $1.50 if we get there. I would prefer we just don't get there. All right, the S&P. Now, the S&P also went kind of zone to zone today. This is a yellow zone. Monsoon, I will fill that in for you so there's no confusion. Just for you. You know what? Just for you. All right. So pulled back, hit this blue zone, gapped up a little bit. We're pushing up right now. I would be bullish. I'm not in a play right now. I am in QQQ calls. So watching that gap up is what dreams are made out of. Notice I talk about gaps on the futures because that's what matters. Not QQQ, not SPY, not IWM, not DIA. The futures are what drive the order flow, right? It's what drives that money into those ETFs. So I do like that. Gapped right up. Hopefully tomorrow we're at all-time highs. Last night we talked about today being a red day, being a pullback for the dip buy. So if you were here last night, were you paying attention and did you buy anything? If it was in the tech sector, looks like you're probably doing well. Terry says, and it's tax deductible. Bonus. I feel like if that's the sales pitch, guys, you should join my Patreon because it's tax deductible. Not because it makes you money or anything, but because you can get a little bit less on your taxes if you spent enough other things to itemize your taxes. Not bad. Is 500 enough to trade micro NQ? Is it advised or smart? No. Could you buy the MNQ? Yep. You could buy a couple of them. You'd be just shy of a couple of them, actually. So with futures contracts, like on TradeStation, they have the day rate where it's only a couple $100 for that contract. I think it's $279. But the NASDAQ, it likes to run. Okay. Your $279, your $500 will quickly be 1,000 or zero. You don't plan to hold overnight? That's good. Had you held this one overnight, you would be, well, you can't. You can't hold overnight if you only have $500. You would have to close it, or TradeStation would charge you. You would want to be very meticulous with your trading. You would want to be careful. Like I said, it runs fast. It's not one you'd want to fall asleep at the wheel on, or I promise you're gonna run that thing right into a ditch. For if I had $500, personally, I probably would trade the NASDAQ, but I've been doing this for 12 years. And the trade I would take because I told you guys I could probably never be homeless again. I would panhandle, ask for change. I would buy a used iPod Touch, download the Robinhood app, or TradeStation, wouldn't matter. I'd put money into one of them, and then I'd go sit in Starbucks Wi-Fi with whatever change I had. And I would take the $500. NQ would be a quick way to get myself out of whatever I'm in. It'd at least get me a pretty sweet tent for the night. But I would take that trade only if I knew, like, I don't care what anyone says. I'm not allowed to give financial advice, but there's times I've come on here and said, you better pay attention. Now, I don't know how many hints I could throw out legally. I'm sure I've already just flat out broke the law on those times, but that's what it would take for me to actually put that $500 into a NASDAQ futures contract. I know it's $2 per point on M&Q. Just wasn't sure if 500 would be enough with the fees, etc. The fees aren't crap. It's nothing. I promise you, the last thing you will worry about trading NASDAQ futures will be the 50 cents or the $1.50 it costs to get in and out, because you'll smoke that in 10 seconds. Even for TradeStation, Cody says you might need 1,200 to trade M&Q. I thought the day rate was $200, $279 or something. Am I trading Forex? Yes, I'm long the US dollar, Japanese yen. All right, Grandpa Dow, did buy that. Sucks to suck. Hmm. I'm gonna wait on this one. You're short Bitcoin at the moment. Interesting. I've never shorted Bitcoin. You're worried about fees on the Nasdaq futures contract, but you're short a crypto. You even look at a crypto and there's a fee. I would wait for this bottom zone to buy the Grandpa Dow. Looking at the little baby Russell, that actually gapped down. Russell just couldn't hang. Hopefully, it puts in a higher low. Honestly, if there was a trade for me, it would have to be inside this yellow box right here. Oh, paper trading. Let's see, Tesla. I bought some Tesla shares. To be honest, like I told you guys yesterday, I think Tesla's going to pull back. I would have really loved Tesla to pull back down here. I would have bought quite a bit more. So it wasn't even close to the bell that I bought these shares. But that's it. I don't want to go too hard. I just think this current trend is going to probably keep going. For now, Tesla, when it goes, it can go. We'll crack it. It already cracked all-time highs, but I think the momentum is going to just start. The thing with Tesla is, and why I wouldn't go nuts, is because it realistically probably is going to come down, which is what a Tesla fanboy doesn't want to hear. But anyway, you got to be real with yourself. Are you trading Tesla or are you buying Tesla to own it? I do both. I have two separate accounts, trading and investing. And honestly, guys, I mean, I'll pull it up onto TikTok and see it right here. January 26th is the random date. Tesla has done nothing but go up, come back down. And right now, it's currently in an upcycle. As far as an investor goes, they've done diddly squat. And so for the past few years, if you haven't traded this, you haven't locked in anything, you just watch the number go up and down. And just characteristically speaking of Tesla, that's how things just kind of are. Now, one day, though, they might straighten it out and just send it. Hopefully, we're doing it right now. I'm in it. But as far as a trader goes, I would wait for the reversal. I wouldn't short it right now, but I would wait for the reversal. And then you possibly could go short. Or at the very least, you let the sellers do their thing. Let the red candles continue. Just let them go. And then buy the dip later when the red stops. When the sellers stop doing their thing, that's when you get it cheap. There'll be no rush. Can I see the TikTok chat? Yep. Yeah, I can see all the chats. Let's see. Rivian. Rivian kind of going. Let's see where we at after hours. For now, kind of looks like XRP. Wow. So here's what I would pay attention to right now on Rivian. Kind of an inside candle. Just kind of flattening out, going inside. After a push up like that, that's fine. No real actionable stuff for me. I would probably consider selling, maybe even going short up here or buying down here at this zone for the current time. You know, if I'm selling calls, I would sell the 16 calls on my shares. If I was trying to sell puts, I'd sell the 13 puts. Next year, considering 500 MNQ or 500 trading options. You just don't like your account, huh? Why are you in a hurry to blow all your money? I trade all of those. I love options and I love futures. I love them because they move and they are leveraged. But if you can't trade shares, you stand no chance of having your account longer than a week. 2 weeks tops. You said blue is a speed bump zone. What is a speed bump? Okay, so for example, I'm going to trade from this yellow zone to this yellow zone. That's where I expect the turbulence to happen. Let's say I bought right here and we kind of base out. That would be the point where I add on and keep my stop below. I don't put my stops inside these zones where I expect a game of tug of war to be played. I expect the bigger buy orders to be in these yellow zones. This one, intraday, I'd keep an eye on it. Possibly add on, kind of like right here. You know, you have to watch them. You have to trail things because we might hit that blue zone and reverse. I expect a reversal at the yellow, but it's on the lookout when we hit the blue. Let's get 24 thumbs up. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, people. Hit it. Anyway, Chowski. As for options, I only know naked at the money. Or at the moment, ATM stands for at the money as well. Man, I would not do either one of those, to be honest. I don't care what another YouTuber said about how options can make. It's just not gonna happen. And I'm being real. The likelihood of you turning that $500 into something, I would probably have a better chance of joining the NFL. Kind of in shape, but no chance. You know. I hope you do well, and I would try my best to help you do well as well. But maybe off 5 monsters. Tell me about Algo. Okay, 1 second. What do I think? What do you think the stable coin will do to the price of XRP? Right now, I just think that's news. It's news. I'm keeping an eye on it. XRP is still in its all of crypto is still in its infancy stage. So as you add things to solidify things, it kind of keeps your it doesn't keep your buyers there. It keeps your holders there. You know. So I don't know too crazy. Did I go over coin, MicroStrategy, Bitcoin? Did go over Bitcoin. And for anyone joining TikTok right now, yeah, when I do these, I'll go over the dollar, Bitcoin, XRP. You do the crypto stuff, and then the S&P, the Nasdaq, Grandpa Dow, and then the Russell. But I'm about to cover this other ones. On basis of algo, is it top 50? I don't know. Chowski. Anyway, keep me posted. But I would really consider what I said. Is it top 50? Top 50? Oh, a top 50 contender. Ooh, I don't know. I don't dive into the world of I need to buy every coin. I just buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's funny how everyone now is excited and wish they have, because I have 15 Bitcoins and everyone's pumped about it. Like it's funny how no one cared that I buy Bitcoin every week until they hear I have 15 coins. And it's working out well. But that's just it works. I just keep doing. I buy the big stuff. I buy the stuff that everyone else is buying. These long shots, I'm just a meme coin. This might even be a meme coin. I don't know, but I'm not. I don't have my ear to the ground on that. So to say this is the top 50 or not, I don't know. It looks like it's just pushing up, just like all the other meme coins. Just because Bitcoin's going up, a rising tide will raise all ships. Doesn't quite have the performance of Hawk Tuah coin. Hawk Tuah coin pushed a little higher. It went down a little bit further, but Chad says, I promise not to blow it on a single trade. Just promise you'll keep me posted. Maybe when I'm ready, we should open a channel to see how I do. I'll review it. 100%. I genuinely love helping people. It's certainly not the money. I will say, however, last time on TikTok, I got the glasses. I got a cowboy hat. I did get paid $2. So full disclosure, I did get paid to talk last time. Anyway, I want education of choosing the top coins I can still afford. Okay, if you want the education of choosing, ignore and watch how many coins fall off your radar when you ignore this column on the right here. When you say, I couldn't give two less about how much that coin is, I don't care if this is 420,000 or 42 cents. And you focus on the charts, the buyers, the sellers. Why is it here in the first place? I bet a lot of these coins fall right off the map. You're going to look right at Bitcoin, probably Ethereum. There's a Cardano will be in the mix. XRP, I think, would be in there. But just because Bitcoin's up there doesn't mean it's you missed the money. Yeah, I like following big money. It's consistent. It's easy, less emotional. And as long as the bills keep coming every month, I continue to have to pay them every month. So I have to worry about things that way. And I can tell you from zero, that's the best way to do things that I've seen. It's repeatable. You know, I started my growth count. So if you follow me on Patreon, you get access to all my plays real time, right? I post when I'm in, when I'm out, what I'm doing, which contracts I'm selling. Anyway, started at 0. No one cared. It was slow. Then I'm up over 100%. Everyone's ears started to perk up. Of course, it took a while to get there, but Chowski's got $500. Took us a while. It was a milestone when I got above 2,000. And everyone said, "Can you please start over? I'll pay attention this time." So I did. Started over, and that was last year. So I started it from 0, and I wanted to put how the average car payment was it $600? Yeah, $600. So it's $150 every Friday going into the account. And then so we started over. So 2 years in a row, we've done 150%. Way more if you actually consider the trades. But if you just do the basic math of you deposited $7,000 and you're up over 15, we're up. If you actually, for the people that just followed the trades and had more money, you're up well over that percentage wise. So to go back to what I'm saying, it pays off to be the turtle here. Am I doing contracts on coins? No. Mara, is that close enough? How long did it take to get to 2,000? Took a few months. It doesn't really get rolling. It starts to get rolling once you break the 10K mark, and then we start to liven it up a little bit. Other than that, I get why people were bored. It's not exciting. There's no meme coin action. I wasn't up 3,000% in one day. I also wasn't down 90% the next day. AMD pushing. This is the latest one I'm in. I'm in AMD right now, and I am waiting for this to get up here. I want to sell a 144 call, but I need it to be worth it first. So hopefully tomorrow's green. Hopefully we're just killing it. But overall, big picture, I do like AMD right now. So we had NVIDIA shares. We let those go. Sold a call, right? Let those shares go. And now we're in AMD. Want to sell a call there, but I kind of want to. I think NVIDIA is going to be in a cool-off period. I think AMD might play a little of the catch-up game. So you're an option stock trader. Been doing stocks since Amazon IPO. Nice. I do everything. Forex. I don't really trade crypto. I just buy it. Me trading XRP the other day was the closest thing. I bought it just over $1. It shot up. I more than doubled my money. So I sold what I had into it plus a little sum. And then I bought back in when it pulled back to 230. That was the closest thing to a trade. Other than that, I buy Bitcoin and Ethereum every week. I trade Forex on a higher time frame. And then futures, when markets get choppy, I tend to jump into futures a little bit more. But I literally do it all. And I don't know if that's a bad way to do things. Overall, when you're looking at things, it doesn't have to be just all crypto or anything like that. And this is for everybody. If you only know one asset class, try another one. You don't want to try them all at once, confuse yourself, and then just end up making losses. But think of it like a mechanic and tools in his toolbox. When you know how to trade options, we'll call that a wrench. When you know how to trade stocks in general, that's your Phillips screwdriver. And then so on and so forth. And a mechanic will just know what tool for this job. And you look at the stock market and say, here is the situation. What tool should I bring to the table? How can I talk to you one-on-one? I like your style. Isn't that some song lyrics? I like your style. I feel like that's song lyrics. Like Powell. Exactly. For the record, I've been saying that a lot longer than Powell. But we have tools at our disposal. We'll do it. I've asked people about doing one-on-one, maybe like opening up a Friday for one-on-ones. I have no idea what I would charge, what I would do. Right now, you can join my group. It's either Patreon or there's the the Teachable link. That's active until Christmas. If you do the Teachable link, that's the course. That's also lifetime. Patreon would just be the monthly one. You can just tag and talk to me all day. As soon as I wrap up here, I'm going to do a Zoom call with my group. I do that on Sundays and Thursdays, specifically so we can talk and I can see their faces. And I can see when they start to cry when I yell at them. For one-on-one advice, you have to swim in the ocean together. I have met a few people. Technician was there when I saw the ocean for the first time. In Florida, as a matter of fact. Okay, so AMD pushing. Let's do a couple more real quick before we do get off here. I do want to do a little bit more research. I told you guys I was bullish. I bought the dip on Google down here. It's absolutely shot up. I really wish I would have bought options contracts. Shoulda, coulda, right? I'm gonna add some more shares right here. They built a quantum chip. Quantum computing is going to be a very big thing. But in my head, I saw AI and humanoid robots coming out. But I think we could get to AI and humanoid robots before we came up with quantum, because that's just a whole nother realm. It's a whole nother dimension. So I didn't think it was going to be here. So to see this, I really want to dive in and see, is this a real chip or is this like, hey, this could be something one day? Google coming out and saying we got our first quantum chip could be cool. Do I like NVIDIA at the 130 area? Yep, I can tell you now without even looking. I'm going to buy more NVIDIA at 130. Who is into wheel trading? A lot of my group does. I'd say a lot of my followers do that. It's a prototype right now. Interesting. Okay. How do we know it's a prototype? Like, if you could just build a prototype quantum computer, wouldn't it be quantum computing? And then you could just build another one? That's what I don't get, because it's so big. Or do they have just the blueprints for it? This is what it'll look like one day when we build this thing. Are we talking to Tony Stark or Tony Stark's dad? You guys don't get that reference from Iron Man. He had the atom. He had it all drawn out, but he just wasn't. He was what do you say? Something by his time, trapped by his time. Something about the time. The technology wasn't there, but it will be when Tony Stark grows up. Is that where we're at? Tell me right now. Is Google Tony Stark's dad or Tony Stark? I'm collecting rent on my NVIDIA shares, and I love it. Yeah, it's awesome. Why would you not collect weekly income? It takes a bit of gold to make quantum computers. Yeah, we got a lot of gold. I'm talking to Tony Stark's dad, so we got another generation. Come on. All right. Quantum computing, I will be big on, and I've referenced this in the past few streams that I want to start buying quantum computing stuff. It as far as I talk about things just being on a totem pole, it's not very high up. But I want to start buying some things here and there. IBM is a quantum play. IonQ, Google. I want to just have a solid net out there in case one of them happens to capture it. Kind of like with my AI stocks. You can't really charge for ChatGPT, for an LLM. Everyone has one. That's nothing. The reason why I have so many stocks is because I don't think AI is going to be something someone makes. I think it's going to be something someone stumbles across. It's going to be the right nerd at the right time. His girlfriend cheated on him with a man. I'm just kidding. But like, he was working late in the office and all of a sudden the computer started talking back. So if there was a amount of money that could buy actual artificial intelligence right now, it would already exist. They've thrown more money at AI than Congress could spend on a toilet seat in the defense budget. Like, it's ridiculous. So I know that money's not going to solve this thing. It's just going to happen to show up. So I am the right nerd on stocks. Anyway. That's kind of why I just want to buy a lot of AI stocks. Still bullish, but worried about next year. That lawsuit is there. Trump admin will press Google. I would be worried about next year for a few other reasons. Next year, and I'm telling you guys this right now, if you're paying attention, you've never watched another stream of mine. Next year will be the dip buy on a lot of things. I do think next year we have a crash, not a Rona crash. I don't see why not. I don't see why that would happen. I think it's going to be inflation, job report. It's going to be one of the weird ones. We're going to get a recession. Then Trump has 3 years to say it was his fault. We turned that ship around, and he gets to boast about that. But crashes, they're inevitable. They're a part of the market. They're a huge money-making ordeal. So they do happen. We'll find an excuse, and they'll press it, and it'll just be a reset button. But next year is when I feel like we'll be going hard. Like we're not doing a whole bunch of margin right now. Next year when things crash, it'll be the time you put your cash in and you dip in a little bit of the margin jar, I think. All right, last question before I do answer Lyft real quick. Someone called out Lyft. Not one. Lyft and Uber are two companies I would never actually invest in. As far as trading, I like Uber a little bit better because it's a little bit more popular. But honestly, there was a speed bump zone we just broke. If I'm worried about Lyft, I would be keeping an eye on this level right here. And you could actually argue if that's a yellow or a blue zone, but I would say speed bump zone. It would have been nice to see the reversal there. The fact that we didn't, I would rather catch that knife down here sub 14. These are going to be toast once we do have self-driving. So when I say investing, I'm going to buy it and I'll see you in 5 years. Okay. Outside of something really fundamentally changing, this is all the movements. This is why I hate investors that make fun of traders, because they likely have no idea what they're talking about. Nothing fundamentally changed day to day, yet price moves all the time. So I'll take advantage of price movement on these, but nothing I would actually invest in. Marge and I started our relationship this year, and I'm looking to take things to the next level next year. Yeah. AMD's up $2 after hours. Hopefully everybody does that. I just joined. Please answer. All right, Dave. I was about to leave, but I'm going to just answer for you. Just for you. He says, at Dave. Disney is another short-term call I'm looking at. Disney's not bad. What's Disney doing? Ooh, you going long? Long or short? I'd be long for the end of the year. I'd buy right here. 111.85 would be my stop on that one. I would go long, 111.85. Stop. Dave says, thank you so much. Dave, did I miss your question? Are you... Oh, what? Okay, what do you recommend as a new upcoming tech or any other product worth buying? It's worth you watching my YouTube video on Upstart. Should be out. It's out, right? Upstart's the one I'm buying now. It's a very broad question to answer, though, because there's a lot of AI stuff that I think is worth buying. That being said, I have all the AI stuff. So I'm looking for additional on top of that. If you already have the cake and the frosting, now you're just like, hey, what kind of stuff should I put on top? Me buying Upstart is like me buying a candle for the cake. So as far as tech goes, I think AMD's at a dip buy. AMD's going to play catch up to NVIDIA. My top 3 are Meta, Tesla, and NVIDIA in that order. Matt says his course. If you want to follow everything I buy, you could buy that. Yeah, Monsoon. To verify, every one of these is a yellow zone. And never in my life have I drawn out these lines and that was a blue zone or purple. That would mess me up. I put too much money on these zones. So I trade these zones, right? I could not do that if it was a different one. I thought he meant object, not ticker. Are we talking about? Is SoFi hyped? It is right now, yeah. That's a good question, though. Let's answer that before I do get out of here. Let me get that. Crash, then why not cash out and look for real estate? Good question. As far as trading, I'll go short the market. Investment, I don't worry about it. I just sell calls against my stuff and just keep collecting weekly income off of that. I'll use it to sell some puts if I want more shares. Real estate moves a lot slower. I am a real estate agent. I do have properties that I rent. I'm also actually about to get my lender's license so I can do home loans. I found out, not that I just found out, but I can do home loans for everybody in the United States. It's gonna be amazing. So then I could actually work with you guys. That'd be fun. Um, but I do a lot in the real estate world. It's a completely just different vehicle. And I'm not. I'll say real estate's at a curious time right now. Any other product worth buying, Dave? I assume that was a stock related question. Any other product? That's why I said Optimus. Ooh, as far as product goes, I did a video on what sectors will do well and bad in the Trump era. That just came out on YouTube, on Don Franz show on YouTube. Sector wise, that one wouldn't be bad. Product, I'm for sure buying Optimus. I'm going to buy a gang of those things. Full stop. So if Optimus ever acts up, I'm going to get jumped. That's not going to be good. Elon helped xAI connect three times more GPUs into one network than the rest of the industry said was even possible. Yeah, Elon's doing a lot. The way Elon stacked his NVIDIA chips, he did it in 2 weeks? It was something ridiculous. Everyone said it was going to take 3 years. Elon, the one thing Elon definitely saves money on is red tape. That dude doesn't have a single roll of red tape. He's like, nah, we're just going to not do that. A robot army? Yeah, when Amazon said they were going to announce drones, so like when someone rings your doorbell, the drone would come out and survey the house. I thought, how wild would that be to have like 20 of those? It's going to sound like a beehive taking off. You ring my doorbell and all of a sudden you got it. You just got drones, and I want to put red LEDs on all of them. So you're like, nope, that's for sure his house. But nope, not doing anything. Okay, as far as sector, I did talk about Lockheed Martin, and this will be the last one. I really have to get going. I got to get to my Zoom section. Lockheed Martin is in a zone right now, too. It might not be a bad one, specifically because it pays a dividend. Yeah, residual income. Now you can talk about like all the other YouTubers. I don't trade. I just buy dividend stocks. And it's really cool because when you drink your coffee, you can put your pinky out and be fancy, and you can make 4% a year. Anyway, I do think we're going to crash. Long story short, I think they're going to rotate out of some of the heavy hitters that are just up so much. Let those cool off and settle down, and in the meantime, bide their time with a dividend stock. So there might be a chase for a dividend yield next year. Lockheed Martin might do well just being in the defense industry. So the two I actually am considering so it's Lockheed Martin and what was brought up last night, Pepsi. So it might not be bad for the next year. The dividend stocks I will buy. The criteria: pay a dividend, needs to continuously pay the dividend, but also be at a dip buy. Yeah. So And speaking of which, United Healthcare. Now this thing, I'm already in this. It's red. It goes down, but this one pays a dividend. I think this one, if you are a dividend investor, you don't get too many opportunities to just buy them at a discount like this. Anyway, did you guys hear the guy that smoked the United Healthcare CEO doesn't even have United Healthcare? Interesting. He just didn't like that guy for some reason. State Farm turned him down, denied him. He goes, you know what? I hate United Healthcare. F those guys. I keep saying this is going to be my last one. This is why these streams last forever. Kraft Heinz, it does pay a dividend. It is at a dip buy. And if you're in a recession, nothing will cheer you up like a hot bowl of macaroni. Have you guys ever put ketchup on your macaroni? I'm just saying. If you put ketchup on your chili, then you put ketchup on macaroni. I was super hungry. It happened one day. All I'm going to say is it's happened more than once. And I don't want to hear crap until you try it. Lisa says, stay focused. I'm trying. I'm here for you. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. I got to get to my Zoom call. Again, if you guys are ever interested, that is the Patreon link. If you're on TikTok, there is a link tree. If you're curious about buying the course, which is everything I teach, that is lifetime. So be in the Discord until I die, which should be a while. Anyway, that link's only going to be up until Christmas. But I'm going to wrap it up. I will answer this. Do you put ketchup on your steak too? No, because every steak I eat is cooked right and it's medium rare. Anything higher than that, I would even be okay if you ordered a medium steak next to me. Anything higher than that, we're not even talking. Anyway, on that note, make sure you follow me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.